Hello, Aspen here. I'm out testing my GoPro Hero 10 and my Action 2 today. Today I actually want to shoot in flat. I usually never do that, but hopefully I can teach myself how to grade the footage and get the absolute best from both cameras. For the Hero 10 I'm shooting in flat, as I said. I also shoot in the highest resolution, 5.3K, 60 frames. That's the highest frame rate. And I just want to compare it to the Dji Action 2 and see how the color profiles match. We all know that the GoPro Hero 10 will have more details. We're shooting in higher frame rates, but still I think that it could be possible to match the Action 2 footage to the GoPro Hero 10. A lot of people may disagree with me, and that's totally fine. Of course there are still some things DJI can fix on the Action 2. The image seems a little bit washed out. I don't know why, but we all know that GoPro has a tendency to sharpen the image very much. I'm shooting in medium sharpness now. Of course you can shoot in low sharpness and add sharpness in post, but this is what I think people normally would choose. And it's important when you're using an action camera to make it as easy as possible. People don't want to spend a lot of time grading and adjusting the footage. They want the best image straight out of the camera. In many ways, maybe the GoPro Hero 10 is better, but I have the Action 2 and I still hope and think that DJI can make some adjustment to it with upgrades and firmware updates to make it even better. I'm pretty sure that you can see much more details, especially in the sky, on the Action 2 and the GoPro Hero 10. I think the reason is that GoPro has tweaked the camera and added a bunch of contrast in the image, and it looks really good straight out of the camera. It does, so I can understand it, no question about that. And I usually shoot in normal color profile because I don't want to spend time grading footage. This is an action camera. The meaning is to take it up, go out and shoot. But it's always nice to see if it's possible to get the best that it can out of a camera. And the flat profile on the Hero 10 and the Action 2 isn't real flat profile. It isn't. Two very small sensors and the processor are pretty small, but I still think it should be possible to get good image out of this camera. A lot of people have criticized the Action 2 for being a crappy camera, and I don't like the image quality, but I actually like the field of view you get on the Action 2, and I totally agree that the image looks a little bit washed out. Hopefully DJI can fix that. But the GoPro Hero 10 is an excellent camera, for sure. My setting, as I said, is 5.3K, 60 frames. ISO is set to minimum 100 and maximum 800. Bitrate is high, hypersmooth is on, and white balance is set to 5000. So we're gonna match the two cameras and see. I don't think I'm gonna do any side by side, and I'm walking in the woods, so the lighting conditions is changing all the time, so it's important to see how the cameras react and respond to that. I don't think I'm gonna use any LUTs. You can find a bunch of LUTs, you can pay for something and you can get something for free. I just want to see if it is difficult to grade it, and of course I hope you will comment on my video and say your opinion, of course, and be as honest as you can. I know that a lot of people that are watching my channel is GoPro fanboys. Maybe not fanboys, maybe they actually liked the image from the GoPro Hero 10 much better than the Action 2, and that's alright. I have several DJI products and cameras, and what I really like about the DJI product is the stability of the cameras. You can trust them, never break down or freeze or anything like that. GoPro on the other hand has had many problems with their cameras, especially previous GoPro camera, but I actually got some freezing with this camera too, so the Hero 10, so it's not totally fine. Of course we have the overheating issues, and the Action 2 has more of that, but in conditions like this, weather like in Norway, you don't gonna get any overheating issues. And remember, you're using your camera outdoor, not indoor, like many people are doing and complaining about overheating. So I'm soon gonna take up my Action 2 and we're gonna see how that image looks, and of course see how the sky looks and all of that. Just give me some honest comments. I'm gonna shoot in wide with my Action 2 because I actually like the wide lens. You will get some distortion in the image, I know that. That's the way it is. I can choose in standard dwarp, but I actually think when you're shooting in wider field of view, you're using more of your sensor, and possible you will get more information. I don't know, but we will see. So I'm gonna take up my Action 2 and we're gonna see how that looks. Let's shoot some B-rolls with the GoPro Hero 10 first, so check them out. I'm not good in that, but just gonna film different things and we're gonna see how that looks. So see you in a minute. Yeah guys, we're back on the Action 2 in the CINELIKE. White balance is set to 5500 ISO, maximum 800, and I'm shooting in 4K 60. You can't shoot in higher resolutions than that on the DJI Action 2. This is in many ways a comparison between the GoPro Hero 10 and the Action 2 in flat. I'm gonna try to grade the image. I'm not good in color grading at all, and the conditions are maybe a little bit boring. It's white, it's winter in Norway, so you don't have that popping colors, but I still think you can see some details in the shot. I'm shooting in standard dwarp. I was planning to shoot wider because I think you will get more details. Maybe we can change to wide field of view on the Action 2. I think when you're shooting in wider field of view, you're using more of your sensor. This is the same sensor as the Pocket 2 and much larger than the Hero 10, so it should be possible for DJI to crank out really good image from this camera. People are complaining about it. They don't think it looks good. They think it looks washed out. So I really hope that DJI watches videos like this and not only from the bigger creators, but people are bought the camera with their own money and are using them every day. Many of those guys that get this camera for free, they tested a couple of times and it's gone. They don't use it anymore because they have much more expensive gear. But so in many ways this is my test. Like I said, I'm not good in grading. I don't think I'm going to use any LUTs. I'm going to try to grade the image as good as I can, and you can be the judge of which camera looks the best. I'm pretty sure that most of you will say the GoPro Hero 10. I'm shooting in higher resolutions on the GoPro Hero 10. I think it's important to use the highest setting as you can on the camera. That's the right way to compare it. Of course I can shoot in 4K on the GoPro, but this should be a test when you're using the best the camera can do. That's the right way to do it. So I'm walking in winter wonderland in Norway. The weather is beautiful. The sun is really low on the sky here in Norway. That's typical winter time, so you don't get the perfect conditions. I hope I made the right settings to the camera. I know shooting in EV comp minus 0.7, but I hope I can bring back some details in the footage shooting in the CINELIKE. So yeah, most of the time I actually shoot in normal color profile. For me, I don't see the point of shooting in flat and graded, because the meaning of an action camera is to get the best you can straight out of camera with all setting in order. That's the way to use an action camera. But it's nice to see that you have the possibility to get the best you can. I don't have any ND filters for either of my cameras. I hope somebody that are watching this can send me something for review, Freewell or somebody else. Why not? Support the small one. Let's see how the sun is behind me. What I really like about DJI products is that they in many ways seems to get the colors right. GoPro has a tendency to over contrast the image, if you know what I mean. It looks a little bit digital and a lot of sharpening in the image. Many are complaining that the DJI, especially the Action 2, has a little bit of washed out image, and I agree on that. But I think that DJI can do something about it in some kind of upgrade, firmware update. It should be possible because this is exactly the same sensor that you can see on the Pocket 2. Let's see if you can see the view over there. You have some skies. Maybe it's possible to see if there are any details. I don't know. We have to see. But so far I'm really enjoying the Action 2. It's small, it's compact, it's easy to use. I'm using the small rig cage. Excellent cage. Can be a little bit hard to press the on and off button with it, and it's quite easy to get off. I see some people are complaining that it's nearly impossible to bring it out of the cage. That's not correct. You can see the tutorial on YouTube from Small Rig, quite easy. God, it's beautiful. It's cold. It's minus 4 degrees, I think. Here on the west coast we normally don't get too cold winters. Normally between 0 and minus 5 degrees, and we get actually some rain too. The next week is going to be back to shitty weather with rain and actually pretty mild weather. all the way up to 8 or 10 degrees plus, so that's quite warm temperature in the winter. But that's typical, especially in December. When we come to January and February, it normally gets a little bit colder. So how do you like the image from the Action 2? Another people are commenting on my videos and are not happy with the results of the Action 2. That's okay, I like it. So straight out of the box, no setting, no adjustment to it. I think the colors on the DJI is much better than the GoPro, but with some tweaking and something like that, and if you can shoot in higher resolutions maybe, and in the right lighting condition, maybe the GoPro footage looks a little bit more detailed. That's totally fine. So but I believe in DJI. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do something with this camera. So let me turn it. It's some greens there, so we can see if you can see any details or spot everything, anything like that. So let's turn the camera and see. Let's return, and I'm gonna take it to wide so you can see if it's any more details. I'm not sure, but let's try that. But this is wide. Okay guys, let's go back again, and I think I'm gonna try ultra wide. Let's just see how it looks. Probably a lot of warping in the image, but just want to try it and see. So please pay attention if you can see any more details. Is there any more? Possibly not, but let us try. So this is ultra wide. Just pay attention and see if you can see a bunch of warping and hopefully more details in the image. So guys, how did that look? I'm an ultra wide, probably looks pretty stupid, but I think it's really good that you can widen the lens so much. You get a massive view, but the warping is a problem, especially when you're walking downtown and you have a lot of things in your way. When you're out in nature without any trees, then it's not any problem at all. Then actually the ultra wide mode looks pretty cool. But when you're walking like this in nature where there's a lot of trees and things, then it maybe looks a little bit stupid, but fun to test and see if you can spot any difference in the image, of course between the Hero 10 and the Action 2, but also in standard dwarp, wide and ultra wide. just to see if there are any more details in the image. I don't know. Can it be a possibility when you're using the whole sensor? I have no idea. I'm not an expert. But thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and let's stay in touch. See you on the next one. Bye bye.